Hello, hello. It is Friday, February 5th, 2021, and today we will be continuing our game dev stuff. So apologies for yesterday. The stream changed a little bit. Yesterday I was doing some Valheim stuff, and I really wanted to get through some Valheim, or a lot of Valheim. I really wanted to make some progress on it. I probably will be writing a guide for that just to see how that goes, because I kind of like the idea of writing guides for games. These cars are behaving very interestingly right now. It seems I was doing a little bit of testing while this was running. It's weird to me how the cars are moving so slow. It seems like whenever I focus and unfocus it, it like kicks the game and causes it to go a little bit faster. I don't fully understand it. It might be lag, it might be something else that I don't fully understand. But yeah, I want to finish this, or get it to a finished-ish state in the next couple days. Hopefully before Monday. Well, definitely before Monday. Monday is like the cutoff date. But the ideal would be tomorrow. So let me turn on the camera and make sure that is functioning. I actually had a white shirt on earlier, and because of the way my camera works, it was not happy with that. So I should be able to... Nope, I can't do that from there. Right, I remember now, because this is a screen recording. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's... My hand down? Yeah, it fixed itself. Okay. Alright, let me turn this off. Okay. Yeah, I don't fully understand why the cars were behaving that way, but this is an AI sort of racing scene, so I don't care. I think they behave normally in the normal scenes, so that should be fine. However, I believe if we start from this scene, so what I remember is that whenever we want to maximize this, don't we? Yeah, we do. So first things first, we're going to need some artwork for the title screen. I have been working on that. We're not going to do that on stream because that would be boring, and also my art doesn't look that good. But yeah, I have some ideas for this, so we'll get that done. So last time we added this thing that whenever we click start, we get this configuration menu that isn't perfect quite right now, but we're going to work on this today. The track select does work. The player, you can just select the color for right now. I kind of wanted to select the car, but I haven't gotten to the point of making multiple cars. We'll see how that goes. It doesn't populate the colors quite yet. It will at some point. We'll probably work on that first. And then you can select the number of opponents, 1 through 5. These don't populate correctly, but this is how it'll look. You know, this will be a 2, this will be a 3, 4, 5. So these need to be generated dynamically. But I believe this works regardless of what you click here, as long as you select the correct track. So in the last stream we added track 1, and then we added track 2 that has the, they have the same layout, but this one has a river. So if we do this, as you can see, we start here. We probably need to hit W to actually go. Yeah. The AI spawns, it has its own little colors and things like that. And you see we have the bridge there. We have some water. If we fall in the water, we will despawn and then respawn. Yeah. So we can do this, make this turn a little bit easier. Let's go into this lane, actually. Because, yeah, then we can cut into this lane, and, yeah, haha. Yeah, we can do that. I'm trying to get it to get thrown off the bridge so that I can show you that you actually respawn. But I don't know that I'm going to be able to accomplish that. If we make a very steep turn, we might be able to do it. Nope, we can't get ourselves thrown off the bridge. But yeah, you can definitely get thrown off the bridge. If we wait a second, we'll respawn. Yep. Okay, let's see. If we do this and then we veer like that, can we? No. Alright. It's actually harder than it looks to get thrown off the bridge, but you definitely can. And you will definitely regret it. If we... No. Okay. Okay, but yeah, that's what it does. And, oh, I can show the full menu. So we have settings. We haven't done anything with this yet. We'll probably do that at some point, maybe today, maybe later, whenever I get music. But yeah, this is a scroll bar, so we can scroll down and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, we can't start until we select a track. That was something we added as well. So if we select track 1, now we're allowed to start. If we select track 2, now we can start. So we can select track 1. I'll let it go to the bridge area so that you can see that this track does indeed not have a bridge. Yeah, this one is different. It doesn't have the bridge here. We can hit escape, can restart. That will reload this scene. We can go to the main menu, could start again. We can go up, load track 2, start, and then we click restart and we start on the correct track. So, have all of that working. Yeah, the menu stuff is up and running. So, just need to actually do the menu stuff now. Alright, so, to work on the configuration stuff, we need to turn that on. Alright, and so the first thing is going to be first, which is that these, whoops, it's in viewport, it's in content area. Yes, okay. And then we have the opponent select. There's going to be 5 of those. We're going to erase those. So this will be what it shows. We probably want the scroll bar to only appear when it's needed. Expand, auto hide and expand. So that's the vertical one. And expand viewport, auto hide. Auto hide? I think that's what we want. So if we run this, what happens? Should auto hide, right? Yeah, it auto hides. Okay, perfect. I don't know how to. I don't remember how to force these to go to the top. Like the content holder now. This aligns to the upper center. There should be no padding, yeah. I don't know why these align to the center. That aligns to the upper center. This doesn't have any alignment. It has the scroll rectangle. So that's anchored there. Oh, is this anchored? That's anchored there. And that's anchored to the center, that's the problem. It needs to be anchored there. Is that the problem? No, it isn't. Why is that happening? Why do you have a width of 0? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what the width is. What I'm trying to figure out is why this is anchored to the center. Why is this not anchored to the top? Why is it forced to be in the center? Why can't it not go to the top like that? I don't understand, because I can save that, but it'll just replace it. We got min size for horizontal. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't understand. I've never understood the scroll views on Unity. They just seem to be completely broken. They just never seem to do what you want, and I really don't understand why. Like, I mean, it's got to be something that I don't understand, but like, I really don't get it. Like, I've looked up how it works, and it's just never made any sense to me. But yeah, like, I really don't get it. Like, why does this not align to the top? Like, why would you ever design a scroll view that doesn't align to the top? Like, what would be the point? It doesn't make any sense. So why is that the default? Like, I don't get it. Okay, so the opponents, this is always going to be 1, so in theory, we could just make sure that this is always here, which we'll probably do. Or we can make this a prefab. I'm not going to make it a prefab. Well, should make it a prefab, shouldn't I? Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. So let's go to the configuration menu. Let's open that. Let's open that. Let's open that if I can remember how. Sure, edit. So to allow the player and the various AI, well actually let's work on, no, because we need the color part first. We need that working. So to allow the player to select the color of their car, we need an array of colors, right? Car colors, and by array I mean list, and not, God, none of that is correct. We need a list of materials. Actually, what we need is we need a struct for this. Yeah, that's what we need, because we need to match the Actually, what do we need? Yeah, actually that's fine. This will be fine because we can use the name of the material. Yeah, that'll work. I was thinking we could use like a drop down that has like an icon with the color on it, but I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. I mean, it's not a lot of work, but you know. So yeah, this will be the car colors, and then we'll have a public list of materials, which will be the selected colors. So these will be the colors that are in use. I mean, we could have like could have a dictionary. No, but that won't work. I mean, it will work, but I'm not going to do it. This will be a new list. So what we want to do is whenever a color is selected, we want to add it to the selected colors list. Well, actually, first thing we want to do is we want to have a drop down, which is the public, it's TMP drop down. Yeah, TMP drop down. So this is the drop down for the selection of the player's color. Player, color, select, or drop down actually. No, it is a select. Because the web element is called a select, but this is actually called a drop down for whatever reason. Because it's weird. So the player color select will have an option for each color. So what we're going to do is we want to say car colors, or actually we want to have a method that gets the available colors. So what we want to do is we want to say get available car colors. So this will get all of the colors that are in car colors, but not in selected colors. And then what we will do is we will want to select the color such that now it will be color such that we want to map that to a new TMP dropdown dot option data, and we will use the color dot name, which will be the name of the material. It's not going to like this quite yet, but it'll be fine. And then we're not actually going to set this equal. We're going to say dot add options. It'll want a list of options. So we're going to get the available colors. We're going to map each color to its name. And then we're going to collect that to a list. This is going to have issues because we don't have link imported, but I know we do have link. Okay. Okay, it just doesn't like it because of this. So we're going to call this get available colors. We need to actually declare this method correctly. This is going to be a list of materials that it's going to get. Yep. And this is going to, I think you can do return our colors dot, is there an intersection or no, there should be, it's not an intersection, it's a, let's try, union, there is a union. It is not a union, it is an exclusion. There's an intersect. Oh god, what is it called? It's a, oh, I don't know what the actual word is. It's not union, it's not intersection, it's, oh geez, what is it? I feel so dumb. I used to know. It's like an exclusion or something. Is it dot accept? Sure, that dot accept selected colors. Dot to list. Okay, so this should return all of the car colors except the ones in selected colors, and that should be returned as a list. Alright. Let's assume that that will work. So this will basically just populate the player dropdown with all of the car colors. And that's the first thing we want to test. Alright, so we'll make that invisible, we'll make that visible, and and then all of the actual car colors into the materials. So I want to lock this, and so the car colors are going to be blue, brown, light black, green, nope, dark green, gray, no, red, white, and yellow. The others are used for the track, and are not for parts of the track, and we don't want them to be the same. So, if we did this right, we should get a drop-down with 7 options for the player. No, we won't, because we didn't actually assign it. Didn't actually assign the player drop-down. We didn't, nope. I want to reach in here and actually get the drop-down. Yeah, there we go. Now when we do this, we should get a drop-down with 6 or 7 options, yeah. Wait, okay, that scrolls very slowly, but yeah, it works. Okay, so 1, yeah, okay. So we can select all of these. Perfect. So whenever 1 is selected, what we'll want to do is we'll want to put it in the selected colors. So yeah, and we'll have to change these names to make them a little bit better, but yeah, that'll work for now. So we'll do that. The next thing we need to do is change the opponent thing, or have the opponent thing work. So basically, whenever we're going to have another drop down somewhere, let's just move these all next to each other. We'll have a public TMP drop down, which will be the opponent count select. What we want to do is when this is selected, or whenever we change the selection here, we want to spawn more or less of a certain prefab. So we want to have a public game object opponent select template. So we're going to do this similar to the way that the drop downs work, which is we'll have a template object, and then yeah, we'll have a template object, and we'll just respawn, or we'll spawn more or less copies of that depending on how many opponents have been selected. So say I don't know, public void set opponent count to int whatever number it is, count, and then what we want to do is we want to say if it's higher than the existing number, public void or public int opponent count, whatever that might be. It'll probably default to 1. Opponent count, yes, okay. So if it's higher, we want to remove some. How are we going to figure that out? If count is greater than opponent count, I mean, what we could do is we could respawn all of them every time it's set, but the problem is that would clear out the drop-downs, and we don't want to do that. So if the count is greater than the opponent count, I mean, we could create some like crazy backing object and stuff like that, but I don't really want to do that because it's a bit more complicated than what I want to do for this sort of thing. I mean, I could, but I just don't want to. My hair is being weird. Alright, so if the count is greater than the opponent count, we want to spawn more stuff. It's really if it's less. Otherwise, that. Alright. So if it's greater, we want to do remove stuff. So that's for each transform child in, and then it should be in the media game object for that as well. Probably, well, no, game object. In a game object, this will be the content holder. This will be all of the little content nodes in content holder. And then we'll have a name for the opponent select, which will just be something. Public, static final, no, constant. Public constant string, because that's both static and final. Opponent select name, which will be opponent select, yeah, opponent select, like that. Let's say in content holder dot transform, say if child dot name is equal to opponent select name. If you're not familiar with C#, this might look funny to you, but this actually does work in C#. It works as you would expect too. The compiler is smart enough to replace these two. This will actually do a content equals instead of a normal equals. Yeah, it's a cool little C# thing that I actually like. It's weird, but it works. So if it's equal to that, we want to increase we want to keep a count. Int current, or int, select count is equal to 0. We'll say select count plus plus. And then what we want to say is, oh right, we can't mess with these though. We can't mess with these though. Oh, we can't mess with this, because if we do, it'll break. It's so annoying. We can't delete something. Oh wait, no, we can. We can destroy stuff we're iterating over. Never mind. Yeah, we totally can. Done that before. I think it gets destroyed next frame, technically. Or it gets like marked for destruction or something. But yeah, if the selected count is greater than, no, not sleep timeout. Select count is greater than the count that we want, then we want to destroy the child.gameObject. Mark it for destruction, essentially. I think that's right. Okay, so the count is, so let's say we have 5 selected, we select 4. If it's less, alright, we say here. So the first 4, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once we get to the 5th one, that'll be greater, yes, and then we will destroy that one. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, that should work. And then otherwise, we just want to spawn new ones. So, and really this needs to be a var, or it doesn't need to be, but it can be. Let's say var, or no, just say for int index equals 0, index less count minus opponent count. It's basically just the difference. And then for each of those, what we will do is we'll just spawn a copy of the template. So say game object, or no, we'll just say instantiate. Instantiate will be instantiate, and it will be the opponent select template. We will have the content holder dot transform be the parent. And yeah, and then it will say var opponent select object. Do that, and then what we will do is we'll say dot set local scale or dot local scale. But sometimes it gets scaled weird. It will say dot transform dot local scale equals vector3.1. Because sometimes the local scale gets screwed up, so I like to just reset it really quick when we do the instantiate. And we might even, it might be dumb, but can you actually do this? I think this would really suck if this was a thing you were allowed to do. Oh, that really sucks. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, God. Never do that. Never ever do that. Oh, that's bad. So in theory, so the opponent count should be there, and at the end of this, all this mess of logic, God, this is so terrible. This would be so much better if I did this the correct way. Set the opponent count to be the count. Oh, it's so bad. I hate it. It's so bad. So sorry. We'll set the opponent count to 1. And that should spawn 1 copy of the template, because the opponent count should default to 0. Oh, it's so bad. Oh yeah, we don't reset the name either. Oh, and I forgot a semicolon somewhere. Oh yeah, index plus plus. I don't use these kind of for loops ever, so I don't really forget to do the index stuff. What we want to do is we want to say opponent count selected opponent count select object dot name is equal to opponent count select name. That way it'll be able to figure out that this is actually an opponent count select. So yeah, and basically to make this work, all we have to do is in here we set this inactive. No, we set. Oh, this is locked. No wonder the problem. Set this inactive. We probably need to set it active in the code, because otherwise I think it'll be invisible. But yeah, we want to set this inactive, and then we want to mark this as opponent select template. And then in the configuration menu, we just want to put this in here, and then the content holder needs to go here. Yeah. Something like that. And then here, I think we need to say opponent count select object dot local scale or dot active self equals true dot set active. Yes, true. I always forget. And I forget, is there a way in C# to tap an object? I don't think there is, right? Am I crazy? Is tap a thing? Tap? Nope. No. Oh god, what is it? It's not... the thing. There's... okay, no. I'm not gonna mess with it. Yeah, I guess you can't tap an object. That's unfortunate. Alright, so in theory this should work, or this should break in a fun way. It appears to have worked. Okay. So we do get this opponent count. So if we said opponent... We said set opponent count to, I don't know, 10. Sure. Should end up with 10 copies of that now. Assuming this worked. Looks like we got about 10 copies. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume that's 10. Okay, so say 1. Okay, so now there are a couple things. First thing we need to do, or one of the things we need to do, is we need to reach in here, get the text, and how are we going to get the name? Not the name, but the oh, what's it called? How are we going to set the name of the object correctly? It will be opponent select object dot get component, and we're going to get a text text mesh pro. No, it's TMP. Is it TMP text? Yeah, it's TMP text. This should get the first one. Then we'll have to say text is going to be equal to. We're going to do string interpolation here. It's going to be opponent, and then we're going to have these brackets here. This does what's called interpolation. So the $sign marks the string to be interpolated, and so that means that whenever we put in these brackets, it will replace directly inside the string. So that will be the opponent count plus the index. So if the opponent count before we called this was, say, 3, and we're creating the 4th opponent, no, it will be the index count plus 1, because the index starts at 0. It actually doesn't matter where the index starts, so what we'll do, no, that makes the logic more complicated, never mind. We'll say plus 1. So if we had 4 opponents, or 3 opponents before, and we want it to be 4, what will happen is we'll have 3 here, plus the index, which will be 0, and then plus 1, which will make it 4. You could also, if you didn't want to do the interpolation, you can also do it this way. Opponent count like this. You could do something like this, and I think you need... No, you don't. Okay. Yeah, you could also do this, but I prefer this method, just because, in my opinion, it's just cleaner. Whoa, whoops. Opponent count plus index plus 1. Slightly cleaner. I think .format works in C#. No, it doesn't. There's no format. What? You're kidding me. There's no string .format. Okay, well, that's... I have to have a conversation about that at some point. But yeah. Let's see if this works. Did I change that back to 1? I think I changed that back to 1. I don't want to do that. I want opponents 1 through 5 so I can see the rename working. Alright, let's see. So this should rename them correctly now, or it shouldn't. Okay. Something's not set to an instance of an object. So couldn't find the TMP text. Oh, is it get component in children? Get component in children. Yeah. And I don't know if it's TMP text. I think it is, but I might be wrong. Oh, is it called something else? I think it's called something else. Is it like TMP uText or something? It's text UI. God, we've done this before. I don't remember what it was. Oh, come on, not that. I want that, I want that. Alright. No, it's something else. It's TMP uText. Text info, text utilities. No, this isn't right, but did we it's in the start button, right? Start button. No, but that's just using the start button. Okay. Alright, I will trust that this might work. I don't know why I trust that, but sure. Well, why didn't that work? Opponent 1. Opponent 1, 1, 1. Why? Why did that not work? What did it grab? Because it should have grabbed this. Let me reorder that and see. It might be grabbing the one inside the drop-down because it's technically, yeah, okay. So it grabs them in order, that's what I figured. Yeah. And so yeah, we have opponents 1 through 5, perfect. We just need to actually set this to 1. And then when they select the opponent, so this is the opponent count select, what we need to do is we need to say opponent count select dot add no dot on value change dot add listener. So this will be a int to the index of the option. So what we'll say is public void on opponent count selected. So that dropdown is going to give us an integer, and that integer is going to represent the index of the value that was selected. Int index. And in this case, the index is going to be 1 less than the count, just because 0 will be, or option 0 will mean 1 opponent. So what we want to do is we want to say set opponent count to index plus 1. I believe that's all we need to do to make this work. And then we want to say add listener. We'll say on opponent count selected. If you're not familiar with this sort of design pattern, this is called the listener pattern. Basically, for the opponent count select dropdown, anytime the value changes, this method here, this on opponent count selected, is going to be called. So to demonstrate that, we will just go into Unity here, and we click Start. And so what will happen is whenever I click 2, nothing will happen because something is broken. Okay. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. What is it? Opponent count. Oh, I didn't actually set it. Pro tip, if you want code to run, you actually have to set the value for it. That would be not that. It would be inside of there, yeah. Would be this drop down? This drop down, yes, okay. So now we click Start, we click Say 2, and now it called that set opponent count stuff. So one of the cool things, okay, don't have the colors, right. So yeah, if we click 5, it will set us with all 5 opponents. If we say 2, it will remove all of the extra ones. And we can set it as low as 1. So yeah, there we go, I like that. And of course we can set it to 4 again, that'll do nothing. That'll set it to 3, that'll set it to 1, yeah, perfect. Okay, so every time the player selects something from that dropdown, we get this add listener thing that gets called, and then we just get the index, we increase it by 1, because 1 is the first option, but it indexes things at 0 for various reasons. Okay, so after we set the opponent count, what we want to do is we actually want to have a method, public void, create, or no, public, what do we want to do? Public game object, create opponent selector. Sure, that's what we'll call it. That's a great name. What we want to do is we want to move this. Basically, just want to move this logic so that it's not as ugly. And then one of the only things we need to do, we want to return the opponent count select object. So what this tells us, basically we just did this so that this is nicer to look at. So what we need to pass in is we need to pass in the index here, what we actually want. So this is another programming tip, is that you want to ask for what you need as opposed to what you can. You want to ask for what you need, basically. And so in this case, you would think, oh, well, we need the index. But no, what we actually need is we need the opponent number. So what we want to do is we want to say int opponent number. And so we can actually calculate this over here, and then we can just put the opponent number in here. So it's actually much better to do it this way rather than having this method depend on someone knowing the index. It doesn't really matter. They just need to know the opponent number, whatever that might be. And we don't want to do the calculations ourselves, because then we'd also be depending upon this opponent count, and as you can see, the opponent count is not used anywhere in here. So this could theoretically even be moved to another object if it needs to be. It's not dependent on data inside this object. I mean, it's dependent on this and the transform, but you could pass those in. So yeah, that's just another little tidbit about programming is, ask for what you need, don't ask for what you want. And you get the hang of that the more you do programming. So now that we've returned that, what we need to do, the reason that I did this is so that we could get the drop down. So it'll say is var drop down. What I will say is var drop down equals opponent select object dot get component in children, and it's the TMP drop down. That will be the color select, and so we'll say color select. Say color select dot add options and it will be get, one moment. Geez, one of those things where sneeze. It's like I wanted to sneeze for a second and then I didn't. Get available colors, available car colors. We want to map those to drop-down options based on their, well, kind of want to just have this code not be repeated, but yeah, okay, let's not have this code be repeated because that would be dumb. It is kind of weird, but yeah. Well, no, because, yeah, no, actually I don't like that. I'd rather have that be there. Because we might need the colors themselves for some other reason. So yeah, I want to do select, name to list, and then that. Alright. So now, if someone, like say the player, selects a color for their car, they cannot select it for the AI. So, what we should be able to do is on start, if we said, I don't know, so if we change the opponent count to 2, we can now select any colors. So we can select, let's say, blue, right? If we select blue for ourselves, in this case we need to actually reduce the opponent count and then increase it again. And then so we should not see blue in here, but we do because something's broken. Okay. Why is something broken? Because we don't add it to the selected colors, right? Is that what it is? That's what it is, yeah. Okay. What we want to do then is we actually want to add this dropdown to a list. And the reason that we want to do that is because we want to change all of those dropdowns at once, but we don't necessarily know how many there are going to be. We're going to have a public list of TMP dropdown. This will be color, select, dropdowns. Yeah, dropdowns. This will be a new list of that. And so the first thing that we want to do is we want to add the players dropdown. Dot add player color select. Yeah. And so with that, whenever we spawn a object, we want to add the color select to it. Color select. We want to add that to it, and then what we want to do is we want to have a callback for on color selected. Say public void on color selected. This will be int index, which we don't like, but that's how it's going to have to be. I don't like that. I really don't like that. Ooh, I really don't like that. Huh. That's going to be weird. Alright, we'll have to think about that a little bit. Nope, nope, and nope. Yeah, we will definitely have to think about this. Figure that out in a minute. Okay, so what we need to do is on the on select. Problem is we don't know where. Oh, all of the available colors should be the same. So the indices should all be the same. Because it's one list, right? The indices should all be the same. So actually, no, actually that's, weirdly it's fine. We'll say on color selected. I thought that was going to be an issue, but no, I don't think it actually is. So the color will be var color will be get available car colors. So this is why we didn't want to convert them to an options list. then we'll just get it at the index, so that's the color. So what we'll do is selected colors dot add color. Yeah, okay. So this will be the on color selected. The question is going to be how we figure out what to do with the how we figure out which colors haven't been selected. But you know, so I guess one way to do that is with all the drop downs. Well, actually, on color selected, no. What we can do is we can say selected colors is equal to a new, or we'll just say selected colors.clear, right? What we can do is we can clear the list, then we can say color select dropdowns.forEach. So for each dropdown, what we're going to do is we're going to, or no, we don't want to do that. We want to select the dropdown such that we get the dropdown dot, oh, what is it? Is it text? Is it item text? No, it's selected? Unselect? No. Index? No. What is it? I'm gonna get either the selected option or the actual. It's not the item text. Is it options? It's sprite text.tag.template.transform.value. It's the value. So that will be the index. So what we'll do is we'll say we will map. So what I'm going to do is we want to map each drop down to the index of the selected color, right? And then for each of those, and then we'll say toList. So for each index, what we will do is we will say selected colors. We will add the car colors of index. No. That will not work. Oh god, that won't work. Because it'll be relative to the ones that have been removed. So what we actually need to do. Oh geez, that's really hard. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to actually get the text. So it's not that. It's the index, but the index will be relative to what's available. It's not the template. It's not the options. It's not the name. I don't think it's the item text. Huh. Alright. I'm not really thinking right now. So this will be the index. I don't actually know. I don't actually know how that works. How do you change a drop down like that? Because we want the options to change dynamically. Alright. So I guess another thing we could do. Okay. So what we could do, on color selected. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Alright, I've been going for about an hour. I need to take a minute to actually think. My brain is not working right now. Yeah, so I will take a quick break and I'll be right back in, I don't know, 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes is probably a good time. Alright, I am back. I have more insight on how to do this, but I don't know that it's possible to do it without triggering an infinite loop. I'm trying to think through it, and I really don't know that it's possible. Well, it should be possible. So, let's see. The first thing I want to do is if we, okay. Let's look at this. Color selected, so we do this. No, this is the player color select, so let's check this out. Okay, can we change the value? We can, however, there we go. We can say set value without notify. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go through each dropdown. We need to figure out the index of its option, convert that to the actual name of the color, and then we need to basically we need to change all of the dropdowns because we're going to remove an option, which means that whatever index they were pointing to is not going to be right anymore. So yeah, it's okay. Basically, we need to say selected colors, not clear, because we're going to fix this. We're going to fix the selected colors, basically, is what we're going to try to do. So we're going to clear that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say dropdowns. So it's the color selected dropdowns. And then we are going to say for each, or actually, what we'll say is for each var dropdown in color selected dropdowns, color select dropdowns. So for each one of those, what we're going to do is we're going to say var color is equal to dropdown.options indexed at dropdown.value. So this will get us the actual color, or specifically I think this will get us the text. This will be a list of .option data. This will be .text. Yeah, .text. This will get us the name of the color, right? Okay. So this is on color selected, so that's selecting the index. The only problem is we don't know which drop down this came from, but that's actually fine because the selected color is going to be equal to get available colors, car colors, at whatever the index was. And then we're going to get the name. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is the name of the selected color, right? And then we clear the selected colors. And then for each of these, this is the actual color that was selected. Alright, give me 1 second. That's strange. I don't know why I'm getting that call. So we're going to have a dictionary, which is going to be dictionary of string to a dictionary of dropdown to string, or TMP dropdown, sorry, P dropdown to string, which is the dropdown to color to selected color. So we basically need to store these as strings first. Then, so basically we need to do this. Actually what we can do is we don't need this to be a new dictionary. What we need is we need to say color selected dropdowns, color select dropdowns, .to dictionary, and then so we'll have a key provider, which is going to be dropdown to itself, and then we'll have a value provider, which is going to be dropdown to this nonsense. So this will create the mapping, right? So the first thing is the key selector, and then the next thing is the value selector. So now we have a dictionary of the dropdown to what color it was pointing to. And now with that, what we want to do is we want to say for each dropdown, var dropdown in color select dropdowns. What we want to do, or after that we want to go through dropdown to selected color. And what we need to do now is we need to add all of these to, we need to add all of the colors to the selected colors list. So we're going to, I think we can run select on this. Yeah, select. Actually, can we get the value set? Values. So this will be the values. This will be the strings, right? No, it'll be a value collection. What? This shouldn't, this is keys. This will be a list dot key collection. No, I want a value collection. Dot values dot, no, not dot value, dot values dot select. So this is a, okay, I think this is right. This is a string to a result. Okay, yeah. So this will be each color to select, no, actually just do selected color, no. We do color to car colors dot, I think it would be find a material such that material dot name is the color, and then we want to map that. So basically have car colors dot find. I want to say car colors dot index of, or no, actually we just want to find it. Then we want to say, so yeah, we'll select each color and then map it to that. So that'll give us the material. And then what we want to do is we want to select again, or no, we want to do for each. No, to list for each of those. So for each color, say selected colors, and then we say dot add. And we don't need to put an argument there because it knows that the material can go into that method. So basically what this is going to do is it will add all of the, basically for every dropdown we will add all of the selected colors to the selected colors. And then after that, what we want to do is for each dropdown, so for every dropdown we want to say set options, or options. I'm going to say that's equal to get available car colors. Or actually, oh, do we want these to be separate lists or the same? Does it actually matter? It should not matter. So say options is going to be equal to get available colors. It's going to be equal to this. Say dropdown.options is equal to options. Options equals options. I'm going to say dropdown.set value without notify. So this will be the index of whatever color it had selected. Say color, or say index, or value maybe, is going to be equal to the, what is it? It's going to be get available colors. One second. I never unmuted my mic. Oh wow. Wonder how long that's been muted. Oh well, that's unfortunate. I just figured that out. Oh well. And that still didn't work. Alright. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Alright, let me double check that. It's been at least 30 minutes, I think. So this is still showing blue. Why is this still showing blue? This player color should be removed. Oh, because I'm not adding it to the drop downs. Right. That would explain it. Can't believe it. It seems like whenever I'm actually explaining stuff, and doing relatively well, I think, I get screwed by Twitch. Or not by Twitch. Well, in this case, not by Twitch. But, happened a couple days ago whenever Twitch was just, like, not working. Okay. So that works. And now, these colors don't get returned. They got returned there, though. So if we, oh right, because what we need to do is we need to call on color selected for each of these, or no. Colors aren't returned because the drop downs aren't updated. So, it'd be on color deselected, right? It's public, we need to do a refresh colors basically. That's the selected color, get available colors of index. Yeah. Actually, we don't do anything with that. Oddly. I guess we don't need to, technically. Or no, do we need to add... No, because we get all the drop downs. Right, so we don't ever need to do that. Okay. So it actually doesn't matter what color is selected. Okay. In that case, what we do is we just, well, actually, ignored. That's what we do. Yeah, since we don't ever use the selected color. Oh, okay, that's fantastic. Then, after we do that, anytime we do this, we just want to call on color selected. 0. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think that will work then, because we just call it once after we've removed all the drop downs. And then it'll just work. Let's assume, right? So we said 2. We have light black, that's the color. Then here, now we can select light black. Okay. Then we do 4, or 3, and then we'll get our opponents there. Yeah, awesome. So we select red for this one. We can no longer select red from any of them. We select this. Now we can select red here, and now we can select red here. And again, if we do this, it will select blue, because that's the first one. Yeah, okay, perfect. I'm very happy with that. Alright, that took way longer than I wanted it to, and way more brain power, and unfortunately, like, 30 minutes of this recording were just screwed. That just makes me so mad. Yeah, that just makes me so mad. But hey, it works, and it's always guaranteed to be valid. So, I love that. So let's say 5. And so, yeah. Now we just have to make the game manager actually load that. And so I think that means that each track needs to have 6 spawns, if I understood, or if I'm thinking about this correctly. And if I go here, yeah, we only have 4. So actually we can test this with 4. So I think what we need to do is we need to pass in some data to the game manager. So if we go into the, what was that? Oh, that's the track name. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, that won't work if we... Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, if the restart won't work, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. So we find the game manager, wherever that might be, right here. Okay. So we have the car data. So if we get car data for that spawn ID, if the car data is empty, okay. So what we need to do is we need to set in here, we need to set the car data to be empty, which will be that. Let's go to main menu, that's, yeah. And so whenever we go to a track, we go to a track name, but we need to set the car data. We don't need to, but we, I mean, we do need to. Well, we technically don't need to, but we want to. So, let's create car data from that. What we need to do is in the configuration, whenever we click start, we need to create the car data from there. So, in the configuration here, whenever we click on the start button, wherever that might be, on track selected, on click start. Okay, so in on click start, what we need to do is we need to get the player select dropdown, or we need to, okay, we need to create a car data list. So we need to say car data is equal to new list of car data. And the first item in that list is going to be new car data. It's going to have the color, which is going to be the player color select. Yes, that is a material. Player color select of options. Or no, it's going to be the car colors. We're going to find a color such that the color is equal to player color select of options dot player color select dot value. So what this will do is this will evaluate to the name of the color. So say color dot name is whatever shows on the dropdown. And it doesn't like this because option data cannot be applied to option.text. So basically find us a color where the option text is equal to the color. And this doesn't work because it returns, should be find, this is find all. Why is this a find all? I don't understand that. 0? No. Okay. Oh, right. That's actually fine. And then this will be is player car is going to be set to true. So yeah, this will be the first item in the list. And then what we want to do is we want to go through each thing we want to go through each dropdown. So we're going to say car data dot add range. And so this will be us creating the AI opponents. So we're going to do color select dropdowns, and then we're going to have to remove the player dropdown. So we're going to say where dropdown is not player color select dropdown, because this dropdown has all of them. And then dropdown such that dropdown is not that. Then we're going to say select, so each dropdown we're going to convert that to a new car data. And that car data is going to have some attributes. It's going to have the color being equal to whatever the dropdown it had selected. And that's the only thing, because the isPlayerCar should default to false. It's going to be equal to color such that equal to car colors dot find some color such that the color dot name is equivalent to the dropdown. dot whatever. So drop down, so we're going to find a color such that the color name is equal to whatever shows on the drop down. So now we can say GameManager.instance.CarData is equal to CarData. And what will happen is the game manager will choose to use this car data as opposed to the static car data. So basically, if I run this, you'll see that we have some static car data, and that car data has a green car, blue car, black car, and white car. So green, blue, black, and white. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the main menu, and if I run this, and if I did everything correctly, what we're going to do is we're going to select all the colors. We're going to select white and, red and yellow, because we had green, blue, black, and white. So red and yellow were not actually in there. And actually, I think for the purposes of this, it actually needs to be 3. We're going to use green and brown as the other 2. So before we had green, blue, black, and white. So the blue, black, and white cars will be gone. And then we will select track 1. And in theory, so as you can see, the black, white, and blue cars are all gone, and we are controlling the red car. And so yeah, we have the brown car, which is kind of being weird there, but you know. Now we can control, I think we can only have 4 right now. We haven't actually made it dynamic, but that is definitely some progress. And it's behaving kind of weird, but you know, whatever, I don't care. It's not the point of this. Yeah. Come on. Alright, we need to get out of this lane. And then, yeah, into that lane. There we go. Now we're ahead of you again. Haha. Right, so I can race slightly better than the AI. Alright. So if we go to the main menu, go to Start, yeah. And then we can, I don't know, set 3 opponents. Now we'll have blue, brown, let's change this to yellow. Blue, yellow, black, and green. And we can go to, let's say, track 2. Yeah, now we have blue, yellow, black, and green. Alright. Now we just need to make things dynamic. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go to track 1. And the first thing is we're going to add 2 more car spawns. Yeah. And we're going to move these waypoints a little bit because they're not cooperating. We do that. Yeah. And so these should be car spawn. Oh, did we duplicate? We duplicated the car models, is what we did. That's not what we wanted to do. So it'll be these 2. Delete. Actually, only one of these is a prefab, so we want to delete all these. Okay. Have the car spawn be here, duplicate it, move over, have both of these, duplicate, move over to here, and then move over, duplicate, and then move over to here. Alright. So now we just need to number these. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So now it will look up, now we can have up to 6 opponents, or 5 opponents. But what we need to do is in the game, or in the car spawn, we need to check, nope, car spawn, we need to check if the car data, if we have car data for that. Say, if game manager dot instance dot car data dot count is greater than or is less than the spawn ID, then what we want to do, basically, or less than or, okay, so if we have 1, the spawn ID is going to be 0 if it's less than or equal to the spawn ID. That way, because spawn ID will be 1 if we have 2, so if we have 1, Is that right? It's less than or equal to, oh god, I can't remember. Okay, let's think about this. So if we have two cars, the spawn ID for this will be 1. Yeah, what we want is if the spawn ID is less than or equal to the GameManager.count. Because the spawn ID will be 1. No, if it's strictly less than. Because the count will be 2, spawn ID will be 1. If we have 3 cars, spawn ID will be 2. Okay. If that's true, or sorry, if the spawn ID is greater than or equal to the count, then we want to just say, we want to destroy this game object. So actually what we want to do is we want this to be in the conditional here. So yeah, what we'll do is that. So basically, if the spawn ID is too high, basically if we haven't selected an opponent, then what we will do is we will, actually no. We want to get the car data first. If the car data is null, if car data is not equal to null, because the car data may not be populated yet, and if the car data is that, blah, 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 not static or empty, what we'll say is if spawn ID is less than car data dot count, if it's less than that, or sorry, if it's greater than or equal to car data dot count, then we will return null. And we can actually convert this to an expression. So if it is less, return null, elsewise return the actual thing. So if the spawn data is too high, we just get null back, and if we get null back here, then we just do nothing. So in theory, track 1 should be set up to work right. And actually we can test that right now, just by doing this. So yes, it works correctly, because it's using the static car data. So now we need to go to track 2 and modify it. So we go into track 2. It's getting very close to the end of the stream, but we'll make it work. Alright, let's go to prefabs and go into car spawn. Oh right, but we need, oh no, the waypoints are determined automatically. Okay, right. Have that one there, oh, that there, and that there. Alright, so yeah, we do this, and then here, 1, we want this to be 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. Alright. So, if I did all of that correctly, which I think I did, we should just be able to go to the main menu, and then start. So we just select, I don't know, we'll do track 2, and we want to have the blue car against the red car. We're only going to have one opponent here. And yeah, we only have one opponent. That's amazing. Alright. Alright, we can hit you a little bit. Alright, slow down, go over here. Take this curve along the inside. Alright, you're going to do that a little bit better than us. That's fine. Alright, take this curve along the outside. Inside curve there. Alright. Alright, let's go here. Let's cut you off, slow down a little bit, and then go to the outer lane. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Inner lane. We don't need to be that fast, because we're already ahead of you. Right. Slow down a little bit. Oh boy. Yeah, now there we can see the car. The instant you touch the water, you get marked as dead and changed, or respawned. Yeah, changed to be dead. And yeah, there we go. Cool. Then we go to the main menu, and then we can start. I don't know, let's say we want to be crazy here. We want to have 5 opponents. Yeah, crazy. And we can say, I don't know, we'll be yellow this time. And yeah, we want to go to track 1, and now we can start. Awesome. And yeah, no blue car, as you can see. I think the issue being the camera does not necessarily align to... camera doesn't align perfectly, but it aligns better than it doesn't, I guess. Oh boy. That's not what I thought would happen there. What exactly did happen there? Okay. That's fine. Alright. Perfect. I'm very happy with that. And then we go to main menu. Yeah. Let me just double check if we go, say, I don't know, 2 opponents. Change ourselves to green. And you to be, that's probably fine. Maybe you to be yellow? So we go to track 2. If we do the restart, it should work as well, right? Yeah. Alright, so yeah, restarting, we get the correct number of opponents and everything. The other issue is that the opponents on the left side are not using the left lane, I don't think. If we restart, I think, yeah, red restarts, but he uses the right lane. So what we need to do is we need to actually add that as data to the car spawn, I think. But yeah, other than that, I think everything is coming along very nicely. We got slowed down there, that's fine, we just go here. Yep, alright, slow down, perfect. Alright, and then we can go back to the main menu. Perfect, everything works very nicely. I think that, I will call that a success. And yeah, we've been going for about 2 hours, so I think I'm going to call it here. Apologies for the muted part of the stream. It's unfortunate no one told me, but, you know, whatever. Maybe they did and I just wasn't seeing it in chat. I don't know. Well, I don't see anything. Okay. But anyway, yeah, apologies for the muted part of the stream. Hopefully you could follow the end part of it. But yeah. Thank you for watching. We will be back here in an hour-ish for some Valheim again. And yeah, tomorrow at 11 Central. Yeah, 11 Central for more game development. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Or in an hour, I guess.